government was to put our finances back in order after the last government lost control. That is...
Keir Starmer never thought he would see such a humiliating day in Parliament. He walked into Parliament with confidence and left in utter humiliation. In front of the entire House, Kemi Badenoch cornered him so hard every sentence he tried to mutter backfired with roars of laughter. The chamber echoed with chuckles, gasps, and grins, as even Labour MPs struggled to keep a straight face. Some buried their heads, others looked away. Because what Kemi said next didn't just shut Starmer down, it wiped the floor with him. So, what exactly did Kemi Badenoch say that left Karma speechless, exposed, and publicly dismantled? In this video, let's find out.
That he was wrong to remove the winter fuel payment from millions of pensioners.
It sounds polite, but it's not. It's a bullet with a smile. Because here's the truth. Keir Starmer axed the winter fuel payments that help pensioners survive winter, a policy worth $200 to $300 per person. And he didn't just cut it. He did it quietly, without warning after the election, stripping away support from 9 million elderly Brits. Even there have been reports suggesting that about 4,000 elders would freeze to death if they were not paid the winter fuel payments.
Minister. Mr. Speaker, the number one job of this government was to put our finances back in order after the last government lost control. That is, and to deal with the 22 billion black hole that they left. Because of our action, we've stabilised the economy, we've invested record amounts in the NHS, with a payment out for 3 million lowest paid, and of course we're committed to the triple lock, which improved pensions by £470 last year. And Mr. Speaker, because of the work that we've done, we're a country that countries like India want to do deals with because of the...
There was laughter all around because everyone, including Labour MPs, knew Starmer was lying. What Starmer said could be translated as, "Let the pensioners freeze. We had a spreadsheet to balance." He invokes a £22 billion black hole as if that justifies throwing the elderly under the bus. But that black hole, it wasn't made by pensioners. It wasn't made by the NHS. It was made by decades of political incompetence and tax-dodging elites. Now he wants the poorest to pay the price for it. You see, he didn't fix the economy. He burned down the fireplace and told the elderly to warm themselves with dreams. However, Badenoch was in no mood to let him dodge.
Mr. Speaker, the only black hole is the one the Prime Minister is digging. This issue affects some of the poorest and most vulnerable pensioners. His mayor in Doncaster says it's wrong. His First Minister in Wales says it's wrong. Even his own MPs are saying it's wrong. He's refused to listen to me on this. Will he at least listen to his own party and change course?
Badenoch dragged him straight into the dirt where the truth lives. This isn't about numbers. It's about real lives, real suffering, and real betrayal. And the betrayal, it's not just coming from Tories. It's from Starmer's own side. Over 50 Labour MPs, many from the North and the Midlands, have revolted. His own mayor in Doncaster has condemned the policy. The Welsh First Minister has begged for a reversal. Even Sir Ed Davey, the Lib Dem leader, has joined the outrage. Before we continue, further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive videos on the groundbreaking changes happening in British politics. Let's continue now. Keir Starmer is losing everywhere. Let's not forget what just happened. Labour lost 2/3 of the seats they were defending in local elections.
More significant threats to the possibility of a reform government, because if Labour actually wake up to the obvious, what's so obvious to the rest of us, which is that this guy is utterly unelectable next time round, and they actually put in someone rather better to lead the party, then maybe, just maybe, the Labour Party's fortunes will begin to pick.
In Rannorn and Helsby, Reform UK overturned a 15,000 majority and beat Labour by 6 votes. Why? Because people are furious. Because pensioners vote, and Starmer's party gave them cold homes and colder excuses.
Well, I think what the voters up and down the country, and particularly in Labour heartlands, are saying we'd actually like to change the government. And let's have a general election, because, I mean, this is a staggering collapse of a government in just 10 months. I mean, this seat that we've just won, it's the equivalent of winning Hackney South from Diane Abbott.
Right.
I mean, that's the sort of context we're talking about here. And voters have basically reject the lies of the Labour Party, and they've essentially sort of put even deeper into the bin the Tory Party, and people are absolutely raging mad about nationalism.
In the Parliament, Kemi Badenoch made Starmer confront the reality and worry about his moral standards as he remains comfortable with freezing the elderly to death.
Mr. Speaker, let's spell this out. All the parties opposite would take this country back to where it was a few years ago. Broken public finances, interest rates through the roof, NHS waiting lists at all-time high. Because no other party in this House is prepared to say how they would put the finances straight. No other party is saying how they would invest in our NHS and public services. No other party is focused on the long-term prosperity of Britain. No one on this side, Mr. Speaker, is denying how big the challenges that we face, but no one on that side of the House is even prepared to take those challenges on.
Mr. Speaker, we wouldn't balance it on the backs of pensioners.
That sentence should be plastered across every billboard in Britain. While Starmer ducks, dodges, and deflects, Kem owns the room with moral clarity. She doesn't mumble about growth curves and fiscal responsibility. She speaks the truth. And Starmer, speechless, frozen, cornered, just like the pensioners he abandoned.
Pensioners are poorer and colder because of his decisions. All the while, energy has got more expensive for everyone. Why has the Prime Minister broken his promise to cut energy bills by £300?
To this, Starmer doesn't answer because he can't.
Mr. Speaker, the way to bring energy bills down for good is to deliver cheap, clean, homegrown energy. And in the meantime, we've extended the Warm Homes discount to 6 million households, 1 in 5 families. That's £150 off the bills next winter. But what won't bring energy bills down is the leader of the opposition.
The truth is, Starmer's net zero obsession and energy policies cooked up in boardrooms have left working people with the highest bills in Europe, despite record renewable investments. It's the perfect storm of incompetence and arrogance. However, Keir Starmer tried connecting using fossil fuels with Putin as if caring to bring energy bills was equal to helping Putin.
Leaving us hooked on fossil fuels at the mercy of dictators like Putin. I'll tell you what else won't bring bills down. It's them blocking every infrastructure that's needed in their own backyards. They balance the books, they crash the economy on the backs of millions of working people in this country. That's why they delivered the verdict they did at the last general election.
However, Badenoch simply wiped the floor with Starmer when he said this.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister talks about clean energy. We have the second highest amount of renewables on the grid in Europe, and yet we still have the highest energy bills. This is not about clean energy. The Prime Minister has broken another promise. He won't admit it, but isn't the truth that he can't cut energy bills because of his net zero?
Badenoch exposed what Keir Starmer is actually doing. The reason energy bills are not coming down despite using renewables is the infamous net zero policy. Keir Starmer wants to appear clean internationally by becoming a country which is doing everything for the climate. However, he doesn't care that he is doing all that on the back of ordinary Britons who struggled to pay the energy bills. He is prioritizing an international issue which requires attention from all countries, ignoring the very people he pledged to protect.
Mr. Speaker, this approach to net zero is irrational. It's doomed to fail. Those aren't my words, they're Tony Blair's. He wants to throw words back, he should speak to him.
Bring him back.
But the truth is, the Prime Minister is on another planet. His net zero plans mean ever more expensive energy. Across the country, jobs are disappearing. Last week, a ceramics factory in Stoke closed because of energy costs. This morning, 250 more job losses have been announced in the North Sea. And yet, the amount of gas the UK is importing.
It was the kind of political moment that leaves permanent scars. Kemi Badenoch didn't just criticize Keir Starmer's net zero agenda. She detonated it by quoting Tony Blair. Keir Starmer, the man who has spent his leadership trying to wear Tony Blair's legacy like a tailored suit, had that legacy thrown back in his face. In quoting Blair, Kem exposed the elephant in the room. Even Labour's last heavyweight thinks Starmer has lost the plot. That's not a disagreement. That's political disownment. It was the equivalent of being disinvited from your own coronation. Blair called the policy irrational and doomed. Badenoch didn't twist the knife. She read the blade's inscription aloud and let it bleed. And when she said, "The Prime Minister is on another planet," she was right. While Starmer recites platitudes about a green utopia, people are losing their jobs, factories are shutting down, and households are drowning in unaffordable bills. She brought receipts, naming a ceramics factory in Stoke that closed last week because of energy costs, then announcing with sharp precision that 250 more workers were laid off in the North Sea that very morning.
So why is he shutting down the North Sea rather than getting our oil and gas out of the ground and making energy?
So why is he shutting down the North Sea rather than getting our oil and gas out of the ground and making energy cheaper? There was no answer. There is no answer. Starmer would rather keep Britain addicted to imported gas, doubling our dependence, than embrace domestic solutions. The irony, he is pushing net zero policies that lead to more emissions elsewhere while killing off British jobs at home, all for the sake of looking virtuous on paper. It's not just bad policy. It's betrayal masked as progress.
Mr. Speaker, as I've said many times, oil and gas will be part of the mix for many decades to come. But net zero, Mr. Speaker, is an opportunity to be seized. We've had over £43 billion invested since July of last year in clean energy. That's good for the economy, good for business, good for jobs, apprentices and growth. Mr. Speaker, the global race is on for the jobs of the future, and I believe Britain can win that race. The leader of the opposition, I don't think, is yet a climate denier, but she's a climate defeatist. She doesn't believe in Britain's ability to win the race for our economy, businesses and jobs, and that they've never backed Britain. There's nothing.
This made no sense, and Starmer himself knew that. He was just reading from the paper, trying to fill the silence with empty words when everyone, including the Labour MPs, knew he was fighting a lost battle to defend the net zero policy, and Badenoch said it openly.
Defeat the climate.
Mr. Speaker, he's got no answer, but he couldn't even bring himself to say something. He couldn't even bring himself to say something to the 250 people who found out that they lost their job this morning. The fact is, pensioners are poorer and people are being laid off. From winter fuel to net zero, his energy policy is a disaster and everyone knows it. We know it, the public know it, the unions know it, his MPs know it, even Tony Blair knows it. His only answer is to go further and faster in the wrong direction. Why should we all suffer because he won't admit he has...
What do you think? Is there any speck of legitimacy left for Starmer to continue? Isn't it true that he is one of the worst prime ministers the UK has ever had? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on whether Starmer should be embarrassed and humiliated time and again to make him feel no one respects him and he should resign. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get more updates on British politics and how events are changing it. Until the next video.